So, super long title, but very, very simple concept. So we just want to look at how the demand for outputs affects the demand for inputs. So let's say that we're looking at the market for orange juice and then the market for oranges. So we're just going to have a plain and simple vanilla supply and demand diagram. Price, quantity, the demand for orange juice and the supply for orange juice. And let's say that this is an equilibrium at we pay $5 a gallon. So that will be $5. And let's say that this is like 1 million gallons. And maybe this is consumed per year. I don't really know what would even be realistic in the orange juice market. And when the orange juice market is like so, that's a completely crooked line. We have also the market for oranges, plain and simple. Price, quantity, demand here, supply here. So now we're going to just talk about making some shifts. So let's say all of a sudden that that orange juice becomes super, super popular. We find out that there's some new ingredient in orange juice that makes us live 5 years longer. So demand for orange juice goes through the roof. So this is new. This is the demand one. And just like we did way, way, way long time ago, here is supply, or here's the price. We'll call that $10 now. Here is the quantity. We'll call this, I don't know, we'll call it 2 million. And now what's going to happen in the market for oranges if the demand for orange juice went up and the quantity produced of orange juice increased? Just kind of logically thinking, if people are drinking more orange juice, that's probably going to increase the demand for oranges because that's the only way that I know of to get orange juice. So, I mean, besides maybe some kind of fake deal. So, we're talking real orange juice, no fake substitutes. So, demand for oranges is going to increase, and that will be D1 over here. And so we just see that price increased and quantity of oranges produced increased. So let's say now that let's go and we'll go back to just the original blues. So now we're not going to talk about the miracle orange juice anymore. We're going to go back just to the plain old normal orange juice. Let's say that this year the supply of oranges decreases. So there's a drought that hit, or better yet, a tornado hits Florida, and so the supply of oranges goes here and it's supply 2. So we're now looking at the blue and the green. Forget about the red completely. So if the supply of oranges decreases, that makes the price of oranges increase from here, and I should probably label these. So we'll call this point A, this was point B, this will be point C, and then we'll call this point A, this will be point B, and we're working on point C. Okay, so tornado hits Florida, decreases the supply of oranges. What do we think is going to happen to the market for orange juice? And this should be, this should click in your head immediately that the price of an input, the price of oranges, is going to increase. So the supply of orange juice is going to decrease. And so this will be the new supply over here, and we will move to point C. And the reason is that oranges are more expensive, so now it's more expensive to produce orange juice, and for any given price, there's going to be less orange juice produced. We're going to go from this blue line to this green line. And so one more example, let's say that the demand for oranges naturally decreases. So let's say that the demand for oranges naturally decreases from this blue to this dark blue. And let's say that this is from a change in demand that is not related to orange juice. So not related to, and I'm just going to put OJ. So let's say for some reason everyone thinks that oranges, the fruit, just taste really bad all of a sudden, and no one wants to eat them. So that is going to decrease the price of oranges, And what is that going to do to the market for orange juice? Well, it's going to increase the supply of orange juice. And the reason that it's going to increase the supply of orange juice is that the price, and I should label this also, we'll call this point D. So the price decreased from A to D. So this was the price at A, and this is the price at D. So it is now cheaper for the orange juice producers to buy the oranges. And remember, this change was not related to the demand for orange juice. This was just related to the demand for oranges, the fruit. So because it's now cheaper to buy oranges, they can produce more orange juice at any given price. So that will be an increase in supply, and that will shift us from point A right here to point D. So really simple back and forths. This is just kind of an extrapolation of stuff that we did right at the start of the semester. So I hope that makes sense. If there's anything that wasn't clear, please let me know.